No idea how excited I am. Governor Johnson, if you could see the three of us here sitting in the studio, you would see we are truly thrilled about having you on our show. Welcome to Marijuana, Compassion, and Common Sense.
Well, great to be on, Lanny. I really appreciate your activism, and I'm just coming from Colorado, so the initiative in Colorado to regulate marijuana like alcohol, I think, has a really good chance of passing. And
I just read that it's got a 60% approval rating.
Well, and you're probably as familiar as anyone with the fact that this far out you kind of show those kind of statistics, but as it gets closer, it narrows, and that has to do with all of the misinformation, I think, that comes to bear on these kinds of referendums.
Governor, I have heard you speak twice, both at Drug Policy Forum Conference, once in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and just most recently in Los Angeles. And the arguments that you put forth are absolutely about the drug war, are absolutely so right on target. I just wish other elected officials had your grasp of the issue. Tell us how your feelings on the drug war affects your bid for presidency and what you're doing.
Well, I think there's a common thread to my bid for presidency with the marijuana issue, and that is just a common sense thread. Look, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. As governor of New Mexico, I really wanted to take a hard look at the war on drugs. I came at it from the standpoint that I wanted to crack down on drinking and driving. Drinking, putting yourself in a position to do harm to others, doing harm to others. Well, come to find out, half of what we spend on law enforcement, the courts, and the prisons is drug-related. What are we getting for it? Well, we're arresting 1.8 million people a year in this country. Half of those arrests are for marijuana, and we now have 2.3 million people behind bars. It hasn't gotten better, it's gotten worse, and I was listening to your earlier guest talk about the kids. The biggest argument of all is that our the kids are going to smoke more marijuana. Well, I'm in the camp that believes that 90% of the drug problem is prohibition-related, not use-related, and that's not to discount the problems with use and abuse, but that should be the focus. The message I sent my kids was, look, I love you both, and I would be naive to think that you wouldn't smoke marijuana or be subject to other drugs, and I pointed out that other drugs are dangerous because you have no idea what you're ingesting. Quality, quantity unknown. So the message I sent to both of them was, look, if you become impaired, you give me a call, I'll be the first one to come and pick you up, no questions asked, because first and foremost, I love you. So for all those parents out there that are so afraid their kids are going to smoke pot, well, the reality is half of them are going to smoke pot. And do you want them subject to the criminal justice system, or do you want to deal with these issues yourself?
Boy, are you grounded firmly in reality, Governor? I mean, everybody else is just like they're living in a fantasy world. And unfortunately, this fantasy world costs us $50 billion a year in addition to all the millions of people in prison. And it's not making our communities any healthier or any safer.
Well, and what it has done, there is a disrespect for the law in this country. It exists. And this is the foundation for that disrespect. When you have laws that should not be, in this case, there should not be criminal penalty for smoking marijuana, then it just leads to disrespect for other laws and leads to a disrespect for law enforcement. Legalize marijuana, you know what, this world's going to be a lot better place, and it's going to happen immediately, and it's going to be due to the fact that police will be going out and actually enforcing real crime. The fact that we may get our car broken into today, well, you know what? The only reason we're going to call the police because we've had our car broken into is so that we can file an insurance claim. We're going to have no expectation whatsoever that they're going to actually catch the person that broke into the car. Well, you know what? Legalize marijuana, and maybe we'll actually find ourselves with law enforcement bringing the culprits of those kinds of things to bear.
Right, because
our courts are crowded the dockets are crowded beyond belief. Well, half of the docket is drug-related, and then prison.
Yeah.
I want to cry when I find out that the individuals that are serving life sentences for having sold small amounts of drugs on numerous occasions.
Yeah. Governor, and you're running for president. I gotta do another commercial, but I want to get back to it, and I want you to talk about what you would do as president, or your run for the Libertarian ticket. I want you to tell us a little bit about why you're doing this, and how you're going to get the attention of the American public, because your message needs to be heard. So we'll be right back. Okay.
Very good.
Okay, and let's concentrate now on Governor. What a great segue, and Governor Johnson. So let's tell us about your bid for the president on the Libertarian ticket. What's it all about?
Well, so Lanny, I'm going to be one of 3 candidates on the ballot in all 50 states. The other 2, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, and I really think that I am delivering a message here that really does point out the problems that the country faces and the solutions that go along with that. I think the message that I'm delivering is absolutely similar to Ron Paul. And as Ron Paul would say, I'm just a messenger here, and this is the fastest growing segment of American politics today. And speaking with a broad brush, I think libertarians can be summed up as being fiscally responsible and socially accepting. I think most Americans fall in that category. Running for president of the United States, I'm going to come at Obama hard from the left, civil liberties. I am better than Barack Obama on civil liberties, and I'm going to come at Mitt Romney hard from the right. I'm better than Mitt Romney when it comes to dollars and cents. You
were running as a Republican, I saw you in the Republican pack as like one of the only ones that really had any made sense. And I'm just wondering, do you think you will be able to pull a lot of those Republicans who do not like any of these candidates? Do you think you can pull them into your vote there?
Well, I think it's been analyzed, actually. I'm polling anywhere between 6% and 15% right now, depending on the state. But the analysis is that in New Mexico, for example, I take more votes from Obama. In North Carolina, for example, I take more votes from Mitt Romney. So I've always felt that it would be taking votes from both sides and then taking votes from center independents that wouldn't ordinarily vote.
Well, in Colorado is a swing state. Colorado also has an initiative on the ballot to legalize marijuana. A lot of young people are going to be coming out to vote because of that legalization initiative, and yet Romney and Obama are both going to be opposed to it. Will you be doing anything there to let them know that you support it?
Well, I just got off the airplane coming from Denver. Among other things, while I was in Denver, I attended the Pride event on Sunday, but today held a press conference to tell President Obama to stop the raids, the shutdowns of medical marijuana facilities in Colorado. They're doing fast and furious, but that's nothing compared to the dreaded weed, and they're shutting down facilities in Colorado that have been approved by voters and okayed by cities and the states as to where these facilities can locate, and the federal government is shutting them down. So this is breaking a promise when he ran for president of the United States that he was not going to do this, and here it is, he's doing it. I just think Colorado maybe will pass this initiative, and if they do it, I think it's the first of 50 dominoes that fall.
Absolutely.
I know that California also has it on the ballot.
No. Washington. California doesn't have it on the ballot.
California did not make it with their initiative. No,
but the state of Washington has it on the ballot. Initiative 502, I believe it is. They have a legalization measure up there, and they're still trying to get one in Oregon. They may get it in Oregon.
I was unaware that thank you for that information. I was unaware that the California initiative is not is there no way that the California initiative moves forward, or is it
it's dead? It's dead. Governor, you really need to listen to my show every week. You would know about that.
Right, that's the deal.
Hey, listen, I want one other thing. You know, Judge Gray, when he was on the show about a month ago, said that you folks had a plan to get on the national debates, on the presidential debates. What is that plan?
Well, we've got to be at 15% in the national polls, and most important to getting at the 15% is being in the polls in the first place. So, for those listening, everybody could do me a favor by getting online, GaryJohnson2012.com. We do have a place listed where all the phone numbers to all the polling organizations are. And you know what? I think if we're in the polls, if I'm in the polls, and Judge Gray, my running mate for vice president, is also, I'm confident that we'll work that up to 15% by October, which is the first presidential debate. So that's what we need to do, and everybody listening can help me out to do that by calling these polling organizations and really demanding that my name appear in the polls that determines who gets in the debate.
Well, that I think we should do it. You know, I've heard you speak, Governor. I am so impressed by you. I have known Judge Gray for years. It's like the dream team to me, the two of you running for the top office in the land.
And Governor, just to let you know, I am a Republican, and you have my vote.
Well, I sure appreciate that, and we need to change the world here. Let's not bomb Iran. Let's get out of Afghanistan. Let's bring the troops home. Marriage equality is a good thing. I think that it's constitutionally guaranteed, and let's balance the federal budget, or we're going to find ourselves without a country, and let's end the drug war.
Governor Johnson and Judge Gray, the change we need. Okay. Anyway, listen, if folks want to get more information about your candidacy, where can they go to get that?
So that would be GaryJohnson2012.com, and I would love it if you would get online and check it out. And I think we have a new ad that really has caught the excitement and garnered a lot of attention. I would just ask you to indulge me and watch it. It's Be a Libertarian with me this election cycle, and you know what? If we don't fix what's wrong in America, if we don't fix what's wrong in America together, we're going to all go down together.
Well, you know, when I heard Judge Gray the other day talk about how you're going to make this effort to get on the national debate, oh my gosh, the views and stuff that you and Judge Gray talk about is the stuff that needs to get out there, and it doesn't get out there very much. And to have that information put into the national debate for the American public to finally consider and realize there are alternatives to what is being done now would be phenomenal beyond belief.
Well, I do believe that. We've got, imagine a young person today. Young people today, their parents take them out for dinner, and do parents ever ask their kids to pick up the tab when they've asked them out to dinner? Well, never. And yet what we've done as an older generation is we've said to our kids, you're going to pick up the tab for our retirement, for our health care. Oh, and by the way, you are never, ever going to be able to stop working. That's what's facing this country right now.
I think what's happening right now is a lot of people who are reaching retirement age are never going to be able to stop working either. Things are not very good.
Nope, I think that's the case. And we need to fix this together. It's going to involve mutual sacrifice. And when you look at issues like the drug war, when you look at issues like marijuana and the fact that we are incarcerating people for smoking marijuana, and of course, if people smoke marijuana, they got to buy it somewhere. So that's why I've always believed that legalization is the solution, because we've got to address the marketplace, and as long as there's a demand, there are going to be people selling this, and these sellers, for the most part, are just users that have been thrust into the selling role because the person ahead of them has been arrested and maybe serving time, and that's just the reality of the of the person who sells drugs in this country today.
And the reality is the person who gets the stuff to the sellers are these huge drug kingpins that create havoc, all these murders along Mexico.